supporter. Hello and welcome into the stream for everybody tuning in on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and hop straight into the debates for the day. We already have our first Trump supporter on the line. If you're curious what that tail is off to the side of the screen, that would be my cat. She's joining us for the day. Now, let's go ahead and hop straight into that first debate of the day. We have a Trump supporter, as I already said, loaded in. So, Mr. Tony, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, I mean, I just, like, the Epstein stuff, people are saying, like, a lot of people on the right are saying that he's on the list. I think he's being blackmailed.
You think that Trump is being blackmailed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just a conspiracy theory. You obviously don't have any evidence. You obviously don't have any evidence for this point. So we're here to debate.
I mean, there's also no evidence that he's on the list.
We're here to debate. We're here. One second. We're here to debate claims that come with evidence. All right. Now that's what a debate live is for. Now, if you're going to say that the idea that there's also no evidence that he's on the list.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
Do you mind if I finish real quick, Tony?
That's true. I'm just.
Do you mind if I speak here real quick, Tony?
That's why I still believe.
I would really appreciate if you'd allow me to speak here real quick, Tony.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we're here to talk about claims that we could back with evidence. Now your claim that he's on the list has the same amount of evidence as the claim that he's not on the list and being blackmailed by those that are on the list is not true. I would say that we definitely have a better inductive case for the idea that he is on the list, such as the statements that he's made about Epstein and liking young girls just like Epstein does, being on the flight logs, flying his plane.
Wait, when did he say that?
2006, I think. And then also, like the case that Katie Johnson had brought against him and Epstein, etc. I mean, we definitely have some evidence there. We have a pretty decently strong inductive case. I just wouldn't say that we have the same level of evidence for your hypothesis. But obviously the question of the day is, why do you support Trump?
Well, I think he had good ideas for tariffs and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him after that 2006 thing you just said.
Yeah, no, he said that he likes young women just like Epstein does. That's a really crazy quote. I know. I wish that more people would give that the time of day. Now, about your claim that you like his ideas of tariffs and stuff. Well, that's very vague. What specific tariffs has he implemented that you're a fan of?
Well, I mean, when he paused the tariffs after he put them on the first time, it really helped the stock market, right?
Well, it just rebounded the stock market to roughly where it was at prior to when he implemented the tariffs in the first place. I don't think that taking a lot and then giving back some is going to be a net good thing, right? That's not going to be furthering our country in a positive direction. That's just trying to erase the damage that he did. If I throw shit on my window and then I wipe it off, sure, wiping the shit off of my window was admirable, but because I put it there in the first place, this shouldn't give anybody a positive view of myself.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Cool. Do you have any other reasons why you support Trump, man?
No, I'm not sure how I feel about him anymore.
Cool, man. Well, I hope that you stick around for the rest of the debates, because if I'm able to get you questioning yourself after, a 5-minute convo, just imagine what you sitting here for 3 hours could do, right? Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. And oh my God! Oh my dude. Oh my goodness gracious. Christian with the $300 donation over on PayPal. Dude, you are so kind. You are so generous, Christian. That is just dude, that's unreal, man. Can we please get 3,000 Christian W's in the live comment sections on both TikTok and YouTube? That is so freaking kind of you, man. Thank you so much for your kindness, Christian. I'm so happy to have you in here with us today. It means the world that you've joined us, and thank you so much for your kindness once again, bro. You've been so kind to both me and Parker in the past. Thank you so much for your generosity. I do not take it for granted. And thank you so much for your kindness once again. Let's get 3,000 Christian W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. And welcome in, Amputee. Do you support Trump?
You mod Cookie King, bro.
I'm on Cookie King. Wow.
Yeah, you mod Cookie King.
I haven't heard that one before. That's a first one, dude. Wow, really switching things up. I appreciate that from you, man. Keeping it interesting. Let's go to load that next guest Sean into the live. Everyone do just be patient. Also, Hillary with the $5 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. And Michael, thank you for the $20 on PayPal. Let's get 200 Michael W's. Michael says, been watching Grok v MAGA before bed. Always need a good laugh to end the night off right. Always loving the content you produce. Thank you for the love, Michael. And I got to tell you, watching the Grok v MAGA is always fun. I watch it in real time on X quite frequently. It is a pretty fun pastime. Welcome in, Sean. Do you support Trump?
No, but can I ask you something real quick?
You don't support Trump. Unfortunately not, Sean. We are just looking for MAGA. We're going to go ahead and lay out the rules of the stream. Everybody do just kind of give us a minute here, you guys. If you are in the queue, guys, make sure that you support Trump. Please, 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 please. We want to make sure that you're an American adult that supports Trump. Those are going to be the qualifications to hop into the box. Make sure that you meet those qualifications before you hop into the box. We're just looking for some Trump supporters to debate. Moving on, here we go, everybody. Let's go ahead and see that what that next guest has to say. Welcome into You Support Trump Scoot. That would be a child that we are going to go ahead and remove and move on to the next guest, Margaret. Honestly, I don't even know. That's either a child or like an older lady. Maybe I kicked too quickly there. Maybe I kicked too quickly there. I don't know. Immediate reaction was child, so I just kicked them out real quick. Go ahead and put a MAGA down below in that chat with your age if you want to come up here, honestly. It looks like the queue is definitely lagging a little bit behind. You know, a lot of people in there that probably aren't supposed to be in there. So if you want to skip the line in the queue, just let me know down below in that chat. We'll get you loaded in. Caitlin, thank you for the $25 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Caitlin. They say, heard a clip recently where you were wrong. You said that banks don't loan to undocumented immigrants, but we do for those with ITINs. Wow, Caitlin, I didn't know that. Thank you for correcting me. I've been saying that one for a while. I wonder how many banks make loans to undocumented immigrants. Let's go and move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Let's go and get that next guest loaded in. We got DFAC loading up in. Here we go, y'all. We got DFAC loading in. Welcome in, DFAC. Do you support Trump?
You mugged Cookie King. Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right, everybody. We're going to start exclusively polling from the chat now. So if you want to come up and you support Trump, let me know down below in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up here. We're going to start exclusively polling from the chat compared to the queue. It looks like there's a lot of people that are in the queue that aren't supposed to be there. So put a MAG in that chat with your age if you do support Trump and you're an American adult that wants to debate. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Hi, do you support Trump?
Oh, bless you. I support Trump in certain ways. I feel like a lot of people are ignorant to what's going on and how he's doing things because
How old
he's
are you?
very outspoken. How old am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a birthday baby. I'm 27 now.
Oh, cool. All right, awesome. Well, yeah, take it away. Tell us the reasons why you support Trump. You have my full attention.
Well, I actually came on because I like to get more information about things I don't really know about like that. I do support Trump in ways where I feel like a lot of people are more so focused on the fact that he's outspoken and that we don't agree with a lot of shit because it's like we're on the outside looking in. We don't know what's really going on at the end of the day. And then on top of that, I just honestly, I really did want to get on here just to get a little bit more feedback from you and see how you view supporting Trump. I'm open to how everybody else,
Well,
views things.
If you want my thoughts about what my views are on supporting Trump, I would honestly just recommend you watch the live. Yeah, you
Of
will
course.
you will
Of
get my
course.
views plus some about why I don't like Trump if you just watch the live stream. I appreciate you for being here. I think that your question will be answered with the with the very next guest that we come up here that supports Trump. I appreciate you for your time. Welcome in, Ron. Do you support Trump? And for those curious, that was allergy meds. What's up, man? Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 18.
You were born in, please.
I was born in September of 2006.
September of 06? You'd be 18. Okay. Tell us, why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because he's getting rid of DEI. He's fixing the economy, and and everything with immigration. He's making America strong again on the global scale.
Okay, good start. Good start. First point. You said he was getting rid of DEI. I just have a question. Depending on your answer for this could or could not be a counter argument to your first suggestion there. Do you agree with like the quote unquote traditional family structure where the men are the leaders that are supposed to go out and work, meanwhile the woman is supposed to stay at home and whatnot?
I mean, I don't really care if a woman, like, if the wife wants to work and
Okay.
like she wants to have a career, go ahead.
Okay, so that won't be a counter argument against you. Well, let me just start off by asking you, what is DEI?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay. And how is quote unquote DEI been implemented in the American society that is something Donald Trump has gotten rid of? Please be specific.
Well, I mean, in the art, or like for pilots, I guess I heard this a lot. Where like they have to, like, some airlines have to like have like a 50% like of a black population, or like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like they have to have 50% of their pilots have to be like a minority. I guess what I'm trying
Okay,
to say.
what airline is that?
I don't know the specific airline, but I saw it somewhere. I
Okay,
think
well,
I saw like
I mean, I feel
Kirk's.
like if you're going to further the argument here, you'll need to be able to give me those specifics. So I don't think you'll be able to further that argument. I'll ask you a new question. What has Donald Trump done to get rid of DEI?
Well, he made like a bunch of executive orders his
Okay,
first
like
couple days in office.
like which ones? Once again, I'm going to need specifics here.
Well, I don't know the specific one, like the number, but
Okay, what did it do?
it got rid of like DEI.
Well, that's just another vague claim. We need to be more specific than that.
I don't know. Charlie Kirk was talking about it, so
So, I mean, do you just want to move on from that first point? Because it doesn't look like you have any specifics about, like how DEI has been implemented in American society and American businesses, etc. And you don't know any specifics about what Donald Trump has done to apparently get rid of it. This just kind of sounds like one of those like right-wing like talking points with no real substance behind them.
okay, sure.
So, what's your second point?
That he's making America strong again on a global scale.
And how is he doing that?
Well, he brokered like 2 peace deals already with I think no 3 with Israel and Gaza, Pakistan and India, Iran and Israel.
Okay. So we'll work front to back. Iran and Israel. So the quote unquote ceasefire agreement that he brokered between the countries was apparently broken by both countries, according to him. So I don't know if that talking point's going to get you too far. About Pakistan and India. Well, they wanted peace. They both have nukes. They don't want things to go to Armageddon. I don't really know if Trump did much for them. If you could tell me what Trump did for that, that would be great. I do know that J.D. Vance said that the U.S. fundamentally has no involvement in India and Pakistan. So, I mean, it sounds like even J.D. Vance
Well,
there is going to be contradicting your point. And then about a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. Well, if a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine is a good thing, you really shouldn't like Trump because we had a ceasefire agreement achieved under the Biden-Harris administration, but Trump violated the Logan Act by suggesting to Netanyahu that he waits until after the election to accept it.
Well, I mean, I saw like the Indian Prime Minister. He went out and said, "Oh, thank you, Trump, for like this, or dealing with the ceasefire and all that."
So what specifically did Trump do for India and Pakistan?
He like got them together and like made them talk it out, I guess.
Like
Diplomacy.
that's not specific. Could you give me any resources to demonstrate exactly what he did?
No.
Okay, so you don't have any specifics there. You don't have any resources or sources as it relates to India or Pakistan. Man, just be honest with me. Do you promise that you're being truthful about your age? You told us that you were 18. Are you seriously 18?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
and then what was your birthday once again?
November of 2006.
Oh, damn, bro. You were lying because the first time I asked you, you said September of 2006. Sorry,
Alright, bro.
bro. Yeah, please don't lie about your age, man. Please don't lie about your age. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just do give us a minute and be patient while we're working on loading up that next guest, Reese Wolf. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you so much for the love. They say every ceasefire Trump implemented has gotten broken the same day, if not hours or a day later. You don't know what you're talking about. He gets played like a fiddle. Russia and Iran played his ass. Yeah, dude, I'd say especially Putin has been absolutely playing his ass. And Netanyahu. Netanyahu's also been playing his ass. As well as Alvin. Thank you for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. Alvin didn't leave a message or anything. Just the $10. I appreciate that, Alvin. What's going on, Reese? Do you support Trump?
Yo, what's going on?
What's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Definitely. What time is it?
4 a.m.
All right. We're going to go to repeat the rules of the live, everybody. If you're trying to join, if you want to come up and have a conversation, got to make sure that you were at least 18 years old, from America, and support Trump. If you are following those 3 rules, you'll be able to come up onto the live and have a good convo with us. What's going on, James? Are you MAGA?
Well, yeah, currently.
Currently. Okay, James, how old are you?
I'm 45.
45. Say a sentence real quick.
Yes, sir.
I hear it now. All right, James, take
I'm
it
sorry?
away. No, man, you're good. I hear it now. Wait, the first word that you said, probably.
Okay.
You sounded young, but the more you talk, the more I'm hearing it. So take it away, man. Tell us why you
Yes, sir.
support Trump as president.
Hey, buddy. I kind of have to support Trump as president just because he is our leader in chief currently. I am military, so any president that is the leader in chief in office, I have to support, no matter whether they're Democrat, Independent, or Republican, or however.
No,
So
that's not true. That's not true.
Well,
you
under-
took an oath to take lawful orders from the commander in chief. But just
Correct.
because you must take lawful orders from the commander in chief doesn't mean that you must support the commander in chief. Think about it this way. Maybe if I'm working a corporate job, and one of the terms of me working that job is the idea that I have to take lawful orders from my boss. This doesn't mean that I have to think that he's a good boss. And maybe if there's a new opportunity for somebody else to be a boss, I'd start chatting around the office on how I think they should have that position instead. Not to mention, I think that people in the military probably have the most reason out of anybody in this country to not support Trump as president. Because the same way you took an oath to, uphold lawful orders from the commander in chief, you also took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And that's
Correct.
not something Trump does. Donald Trump has explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution. He passed an EO unconstitutionally banning birthright citizenship. He unconstitutionally deported Abrigo Garcia and didn't care. He's unconstitutionally black-bagged college students and illegally taken them to detention centers 1,000 miles away from where they were black-bagged against the ruling of local judges. He's unconstitutionally deported Venezuelan immigrants. And then he had told an ABC News reporter that he doesn't even know if he has to uphold the Constitution.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: did you support Obama and Clinton when they were in office?
Well, I wasn't even alive when Clinton was president.
Okay,
I think I was too young to rationally support Obama.
Okay, so let me ask you: what is your political party? Do you have one? Or are you independent?
Yeah, well, I'm a progressive liberal, so I typically consign myself to the Dems. Now, can you please respond to the points that I brought up about how just because you might be in the military and you have to take lawful orders from the president, that doesn't mean that you have to support him as president or say he's a good president. And B, you have a lot of reason to not support him because you also took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and he fucking hates the Constitution.
I mean, you're correct on that part. I can't argue those points there, just because those are factual and correct, in that aspect. As far as the aspect of the Iran-Iraqi ceasefire, both Obama and Clinton, on record, have stated that that needs to happen during their presidency, and have vowed for that to happen during their presidency. Both Democratic presidents as well. And under their presidency, that did not happen. But under Trump's presidency, that did happen.
A ceasefire between whom?
Iraq and Iran.
Donald Trump didn't achieve a ceasefire agreement between Iraq and Iran. I don't think that Iraq and Iran are fighting each other.
Maybe, to be honest with you, it's been a day. I'm trying to think of exactly who's fighting each other currently.
Do you mean Israel and Iran?
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't even think that we've had any other presidents advocate for a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran.
Yes, sir. It was Obama and Clinton both did.
What was the ongoing conflict when Clinton was president and when Obama was president?
Iran was bombing.
Was bombing Israel?
Right.
So they were in a war. Okay, what was this war called? When was this war? And then also you're saying that Obama wasn't able to do anything. Obama literally achieved a denuclearization agreement with Iran.
Right, which did not. Okay, that did not happen either.
It did happen. That was a JCPOA. That happened. Yeah.
No, they still had nuclear. That's what just happened is because Trump bombed their nuclear sites. They still had nuclear sites.
So if you're referencing under the JCPOA, no, that's not true. So the JCPOA required them to give 97% of their enriched uranium to Russia. It required them to take down all of the machinery required to develop nuclear weapons, as well as it gave 24/7 surveillance offsite access to the IAEA, which is an International Atomic Energy Agency, and then gave them 500 in-person visits per year. They reported 0 violations during the totality of the agreement. That was the most comprehensive denuclearization agreement ever signed, with the most oversight out of any denuclearization agreement ever signed. And they never violated it. So, I mean, the claim that they did violate that ceasefire agreement and continue to develop nuclear weapons is false.
Well, they did not. Well, they did not agree. They did not adhere to the ceasefire agreement.
That wasn't a ceasefire agreement. That was a denuclearization agreement, and they did adhere to it. And I just gave you all the evidence in the world you need to know that they adhere to it.
Okay, so here's my thing: is you can pay anybody off to say anything that you want to say with enough money.
You think you could pay the UN, the EU, and even America off? No way. No way.
Oh, yeah.
You think even Trump reaffirmed that they were honoring the agreement twice. Now, if you want to assume that Trump was paid off, Obama was paid off, America was paid off, the EU was paid off, the UN was paid off, Russia was paid off, the IAEA was paid off, that everybody in the world was paid off, that is just simply a conspiracy theory with no evidence to demonstrate that it's true. And it's just so attached from reality. It is so significantly detached from reality.
Okay, so so let's go back to the ceasefire order that happened.
No, I don't want to go back to the ceasefire that happened. I want you to respond to the fact that your conspiracy theory that everybody alive was paid off to report that that Iran was not violating the JCPOA is complete BS.
So why did they still have nuclear sites then?
Why do they still have facilities? For levels of uranium enrichment for nuclear energy and for other things such as metal detectors, as well as MRI machines and other type of machinery to that would require like low levels of enriched uranium.
Right. So they still had access to uranium to make nuclear.
No, they didn't. Nuclear energy, not nuclear weapons.
Well, how do you make a nuclear weapon then?
With incredibly high levels of enriched uranium and very specific technology and machinery. They were forced to give, as I already said, 97% of all of their enriched uranium to Russia, and they deconstructed all of the specific machinery that's required to weaponize enriched uranium.
And in those particular sites, yes.
So Iran didn't violate the the agreement.
For
What is going on in the chat?
in essence, yes. In essence, they did not. And so, in like, what I'm trying to get at is that there's in essence.
Yeah, we're gonna go to move on to the next guest, everybody. Everyone just give us a minute. That was something. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Welcome in, Kayla. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age, please.
I'm with my friend here. My name.
Those would be children. Goodbye. Guys, if you find yourself in that queue, make sure that means that you are at least 18 years old, you support Trump, and you were ready and willing to come up here and have a debate with me. Also, real quick, if you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as in the pin message over on YouTube. Now, we're going to go to get that very next guest loaded into the stream, everybody. Let's go to get them loaded in right now. Also, you guys, I know that we talked about this a couple months ago, but it looks like things are kind of materializing now. I asked y'all a while ago how you'd feel about me partnering with some other platform called Party to do streams on to incentivize me to put some time into specifically going over breaking news and recording videos and further in-depth analyzation of issues going on in America. It looks like that's happening. We might even start doing that as early as tomorrow, everybody. So I mean, it's a pretty cool deal. You know what I mean? It's sweet. It's Party, a streaming platform, reached out to me. They offered me, a streaming deal. And I mean, I think that the pros are cool because part of the deal is basically I have to spend, around an hour a day exclusively over there. And I think I could use that extra hour a day to do deep dives into what's going on in American politics and to record news videos for YouTube. So, I mean, there's a lot of pros there. We're definitely going to reap a lot of benefits from that hour. And it'll be pretty cool. I mean, I'm seriously really looking forward to it. It'll be exciting. So if we do start doing this, nothing will change with the streams on TikTok and YouTube. We'll still be on TikTok and YouTube every day for 4 hours. You'll just see an extra hour from me every day exclusively over there. What's going on, Sandra? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
Awesome, Sandra, you're based. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We got Greg loaded up in the box. Will it be before or after? Well, I mean, actually, I've always thought about just doing it after, but that's actually a good point. I could even do it before. Somebody in the YouTube chat says, does this mean that you won't stream on YouTube anymore? No, we'll still be doing our streams on TikTok and YouTube, as we already are. Nothing will change with that. We'll just have an extra hour a day over there in Party. So that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? What's going on, Caleb? Do you support Trump?
I do.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Phenomenal. Let's hop into a debate. And, I was looking into like the other people that stream on Party. I don't think it's people that, maybe you guys would typically watch. I think they're kind of on the other side of the aisle, right? That's kind of what we see out of the, these new streaming platform pop-ups. But I mean, hell, that's probably a good thing to have my face and my stream plastered on some other platform, which typically wouldn't endorse liberalism. So, I mean, look at that. We'll be exposing people who typically, don't engage with liberal content, and we'll have an extra hour every day to film more breaking news videos to post on YouTube, to syndicate more content about what's going on, and a little bit more of an in-depth look into American politics. So I mean, I think it's cool. It's pretty cool. Welcome in, Caleb. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you already told us that you're 20. Okay, Caleb, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Honestly, okay, I'm gonna put it out here. I'm not like the most educated politically wise by any means. So, right. But like economy wise, I think he is better, but as of right now, it has not been fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. His first term, he did like great, and then I was like big supporter first term wise, and then I thought he did great with the economy, like whatever world conflicts are going on and all that. But like coming around on his second term
I don't
here-
think that he did great with the economy during his first term. I don't think that he destroyed it. I just don't think that he did great because I wouldn't be able to point out any policy that he passed that was like super duper good for the economy.
That's fair. Yeah, I can understand that. I think like I don't know. My more reason here is why like I came in is I want to be swayed or like have you give me reasons on why I should turn to be indulged to or be obliged to go to liberal rather than Republican.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, the Republican Party is a party of disdain for core American values such as upholding law and order as well as the Constitution. Right now, the Republican Party, is for a redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich. Right now, the Republican Party is for, very acceptance of immoral behaviors and attitudes, such as the fact that Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist or a 34-count felon. I just don't really see how the Trump the Trump admin is furthering this country in a positive direction. I really only think that they're hurting. I think that the big beautiful bill really bleeds this country because it kicks 17 million people off of healthcare, 3 million people off of food stamps, children in school across America off of free school lunches and after school programs. I think now we see like 20 states suing the federal government for revoking some of their funding. And I don't know what the decision entailed, but today, we saw the SCOTUS make a ruling furthering Donald Trump's attempt to destructure the federal Department of Education.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I got one other question. I seen it like online and heard about it from like friends of mine. I don't know if it's specifically true. I seen that like he wanted to pass a bill to reestablish segregation. Is that?
I think what you're talking about is going to be an executive order that he passed at the beginning of his administration, basically making racial segregation inside of the federal government legal by restricting one of LBJ's executive orders banning segregation in the federal government. But once again, man, we are just kind of looking for debate here. I do think that your questions are awesome. Maybe if you have any reasons why you support Trump that you'd like to debate, that'd be great.
My main reasons that I'll bring up, like I said, the economy, but again, that's like kind of crashed at the moment. So
right.
That's not even.
So that's not going to be one of the reasons.
And then border, like security wise, all that, like
Okay.
I'm not
Do- do-
immigration.
Do you know like what has Donald Trump done for the border that you're a big fan of?
Like I don't know if it's completely statistically accurate, but from what I've heard, it is statistically like cleaner. Cleaner sounds terrible. That's not what I mean. But like safer, like not as many illegal immigrants coming in.
I have a question. Are you 16? My whole chat is saying that you're 16. Is there any truth to that?
No,
claim?
no. The 16 is my number from football in high school. It's what the 16 is for. I can give you my birth date if you'd like.
Sure. What's your birthday?
March 14, 2005.
You would be 20. Great. I believe you. Okay. All right. So yeah, moving on from that, you said that we've seen a significant reduction in undocumented entry into America. Well, once again, my question was specifically, what has Trump done to reduce those crossings? What can we attribute to him and his administration?
Increased security. The whole wall, I guess.
The wall? Well, we're only 160 days in. I don't really think that the wall is furthered much construction. I think that they just passed more funding for the wall like last week. I'd highly doubt if any further construction has even started yet, so I don't know if it's going to be the wall. I think that a big reason for a reduction in undocumented entry that we've seen into America is a reorganization of the incentive structures that exist for undocumented entry. Usually these people will come into this country for a higher quality of life, but Now they think if they do enter into this country, the use of undocumented means, they're going to be literally beaten, tortured, since Donald Trump has been literally beaten and torturing undocumented immigrants such as Abrigo Garcia. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a big reason for plummeting undocumented entry. I don't think that's a good way to reduce undocumented entry. I think that's a terrible way to reduce undocumented entry. Not only is it short term because, you know, the next time we don't have a fascist in the Oval Office, which will hopefully be in 2028, you know, that's going to go away. Not to mention, it's just incredibly immoral.
Yeah. Another one of my reasons is like religious beliefs. I find it is more supported my religious beliefs over on the Republican side than it is the liberal.
I think that's just a lie.
Lie?
Yeah, what religious beliefs do you hold to that are more supported by the right?
I don't know. I like just specifically I see more liberals bashing like I'm a Christian.
I think that you see more Republicans bashing Christianity. I
Do
do.
I?
110%. Donald Trump bashed the hell out of Christianity when he passed his BBB, redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich. That is so disrespectful to the teachings, not just of the gospel, but of the Christian Bible as a whole, including some of the Old Testament, such as Psalms 32, where we learn that if you give to those that are more needy than yourself, you'll be given great glory in the kingdom of heaven. That is such a bash on the name of Christianity. You know, it's a bash on Jesus and his teachings, too. I mean, Jesus taught, you know, not to tax the poor unjustly. I mean, he literally had Matthew stop being a tax collector for the poor before he allowed Matthew to be a follower of his own. That's a huge bash to Christianity. You know, same thing with equality and acceptance. You know, one thing that Jesus taught was to accept everyone, right? I mean, he was so accepting that he even was trying to get the Jewish Pharisees to be followers of himself. I forget that one Pharisee's name, but you know, it's really predominant throughout the Bible. This guy was trying to apparently kill him, and he was still trying to get him to be a follower. Now, we see so much exclusion and a lack of acceptance from people on the right. So much. I mean, Donald Trump tried to implement a total and complete shutdown of all new Muslims coming into this country. And I mean, that's just one example, man. Jacqueline, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate you for your kindness. So I do truly believe that the right is just totally a bash on Christian values.
That's fair. Another reason I like even like this, I guess it doesn't really work as of right now because he's not doing the greatest of job. But in his first term, brought like quite a few ceasefires to conflicts around the world. I'd say like
Conflicts have only gotten worse under his admin. Yeah, like Russia and Ukraine literally got so bad after he stopped sending humanitarian military support to Ukraine. It's gotten so bad that now he's repealed that, even though he ran on that for like a year and a half, and now he's resending military aid to Ukraine and is now also reconsidering sending humanitarian aid to them too.
But I mean, he was like the first president to ever have full peace with like, North Korea with like Kim Jong-un.
He didn't have anything with them. No, nothing.
No?
He signed an agreement with them for them to stop missile testing off of the coast of South Korea, right?
Oh, that was it? Okay, well.
And then they did stop missile testing for 2 months, but then they resumed and violated the agreement. I think that he signed the agreement with them in July of 2019. They were back to missile testing off the coast of South Korea in August of 2019.
Well, yeah, no, I'm like full out. You've got me convinced, man.
Well, I appreciate you for coming up, man. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you tune in to the rest of the stream.
I'll look deeper into it. Complete respect, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you as well. I mean, as well as if you buy into the more like conventional GOP talking points that, you know, we're at a proxy war with Russia because we were helping Ukraine and sending them military equipment, etc.
Hello?
Well, we also have like North Korean troops boots on the ground fighting alongside the Russian troops in Ukraine. So under that Republican talking point, now we're also in a proxy war with North Korea. What's going on, JM? Do you support Trump?
Yes,
Age,
I'm MAGA.
please?
18.
Phenomenal.
I just voted him.
What year were you born in?
I just voted in the last election. I voted Trump.
What year were you born in?
I was born in 06.
In what month?
December. I'm a December birthday.
December of 06? Well, then you wouldn't have voted for Trump in the last election. And you were lying about your age. So let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, everyone. Let's be patient while we're working on getting that next guest loaded into the stream. If you do find yourself in the queue, make sure that means that you're an American adult that supports Trump, everybody. We're going to get that next guest, James, connected to the live. While James is connecting super duper quickly, Alina.
What flavor is that vape, bitch ass?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Calm down. Calm down, child. Calm down. Moving on here. Let's go to get that next guest, Mr. Wise, loaded into the live. And Lena, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo 20 minutes ago, saying that airplane pilots are required to meet a certain amount of pilot in command flight hours before they're even qualified to apply for a commercial license. It is so hard to be a pilot, Lena. That is absolutely true. As well as Pearl, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. And Carissa, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Carissa says, watching your live says, giving me the confidence to stand up to MAGAs in Alabama. Good shit, Carissa. I'm fucking proud of you. And then Mary with a 5 and Jesse with a 2, guys. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Luna with a $10 on PayPal, saying, would you recommend this job to others? No. Thank you for the $10 over there on PayPal, Luna. Thank you so much. As well as Ethan with the $5. Thank you so much. And then Felicity with the $10 saying, take care of yourself. Love you, Dean. Thank you, Felicity, for the kind message and the $10. Show some love to Felicity down below. Then Aria and Brittany both with the $5 over on PayPal. And Michael. Wait, I already thanked Michael a while ago. Thank you guys so much for the love. Let's get some W's in the live chat, showing some love to all the donors. Thank you guys so much. Mr. Wise, welcome into You Support Trump.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Age, please.
I'm 21.
21 and time, please.
What?
What time is it?
What? It's 11 in Europe.
Okay, well, as I already said, you got to be an American adult if you want to come up here and have a conversation with us, so make sure that we are following those rules, everybody. Right now, we have 7.4 thousand people in the TikTok live stream, but we only have 37 guest requests, and I would assume that a lot of those 37 guest requests are trolls, liberals, or guest Europeans, so... let's make sure that we are only in that queue for an American adult that supports Trump and is ready and willing to debate. Welcome in, Food Destroyer. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Time, please?
Like, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's 5.
5, state? What state again?
I'm in Ohio.
Perfect. And how old are you?
18.
What year are you born in?
2006.
Great. So take it away. Why do you support Trump? The man, the myth, the failure.
Wait, no, hold up. I gotta ask you something. Did you try to dox a dad because he said his kid couldn't consent?
No, that is not something that I did.
Why is there so many videos about it and shit then?
Because of a gross misinterpretation of facts, political propaganda likely aimed at people that they disagree with politically, or just chasing clout. One of the two.
But the dad said that kids can't consent. Like kids shouldn't consent.
Do you want to hear what the dad said?
What do you say?
Let's listen together. We'll also have a quick listen to what the wife said. We'll go over this real quick. There's a bunch of people in the chat that I think need to hear this too. We're kind of like getting towards like the end of an era where I think I'm willing to address this on live, but I'll go ahead and just do it for the one last time. Let's listen to what these parents had to say. So yes, this clip is going to include a husband and wife. Like the other day when we were talking at the start of the conversation, like the very first thing that was said was, "Here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these naked teens." And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you... So, no, that's actually not the law. It is...
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the law?
We're talking about teenagers, under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then? Who is it? Is it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So where does the consent fall?
Because nobody.
When you go to the doctor's office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because it's not the child. From my research, statements from the girl specifically that he went and saw it in the changing room said that it was more transactional than anything. If anything, because these girls are competing against each other, they went to Donald Trump when he was back there to get some sort of not promotion, but like to get some sort of like feedback and transactional advice from the guy because he's a businessman. This is exactly what these women that were back there have said on BuzzFeed. I've
Wait,
seen
wait,
it.
wait.
I read it.
What do
I
you
have
what do you
the
mean it was
screenshot.
transactional when he's
They
walking
were
on a
trying
naked
to
teenage
get.
girls?
It was
What's
transactional in a
about it?
business sense. It was
Can you
transactional in
explain
a
that to us?
business. Yes, I can, because Trump is a businessman. He has like huge persona, publicly business essential. The girls were trying to get his input and get him to like promote or like give them advice on how to
They're children.
just
They were
get.
naked. They can't consent to that.
Dean,
How do you know they was naked, Dean?
hold on.
Because he
Can
said
How
that
do
in
you
a
know there
clip.
wasn't innocent and
Now redefended Trump 3 times, walking into a changing room with naked teenage girls by saying that their parents consented. You even then agreed to this for a 4th time as it related to the question that Jerry just asked you, once again reaffirming that they are within their rights and abilities to consent on behalf of the children for exploitation from other adults, as well as your wife, Shania. I mean, she even repeated that she believes that it was a transactional occurrence, that both parties were reaping some benefit. And in
By
other
law,
words,
is
she is
that
saying that the bodies, the naked
By
bodies
law,
of
is that
children are
exploitation?
transactional.
Dean, answer the question. By law, is that exploitation?
I think that is exploitation. Yeah.
Do you think Brooke Shields was?
Dean, did those words come out of my mouth?
you.
Do you think
Dean,
Brooke
did those words
Shields
come out of my
was
mouth?
exploited when she posed on a Calvin Klein poster underage, holding her breast without a shirt on?
Who did that?
And
Because yeah, that's
everybody
wrong.
in
They
the
should have
world
done
looked at
that.
it?
That's wrong. Bad. Don't do that.
Was she exploited?
Yes.
What by what law?
What? Now we're talking
She
about
was
some
on
like
posters
actual
and
naked.
She was on Times Square.
Yeah, we're talking about some underage naked teenager with her boobs out in Times Square. Exploitation. She's exploited.
And do you think that?
Law.
Do you guys disagree? Like naked teenager with her boobs out on Times Square. Was she exploited?
Yes.
I
Progressive
think
thinking.
it's art. I think it's
Now they're calling it art.
beautiful photo
Now they're calling it beautiful.
of a
art.
beauty that was on Times Square.
Yeah, we're gonna go and stop that there. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, these are the parents that we're talking about here. I mean, you heard him say some pretty crazy shit there. I mean, like, this is the crazy shit that led me, shit like this is what led me to saying, if you're watching the live, find these public information and privately take it to, local CPS authority. And I also said to specifically not post it on the internet. So legally speaking, that doesn't meet the classification of doxing. Now, I mean, as I've said in the video I posted about the matter and repeated since this occurred, I think that was a wrong way to respond to these parents. I really did drop the ball. I regret that. I think that I did a bad thing in the way that I responded to that. But still yet, I mean, the narrative that I doxed, a father that said kids can't consent to sex is wrong on both fronts.
Wait, so you're saying you didn't like tell people to dox them, that people just went out on their own and chose to dox that guy?
I don't think that anybody went out on their own and doxed them. I mean, I haven't seen any evidence to support that theory.
Right. But there's like so much stuff in the chat. There's so many people saying this guy says the N-word, he vapes. I don't really know you, but they're low-key spamming this shit.
So do you want to respond to everything I just played? Because you said
Wait,
that
are you
this
talking
was just
about
an
the guy-
innocent.
wait, are you
You
talking
said
about
that
the
this was
Nazi
just
guy?
like an innocent father that said kids can't consent to sex. So I mean, you listened to a clip of him and
No,
his
I
wife.
said, did you dox dad that said his kids couldn't consent, and then you said no, and then you played the clip. I'm not.
Do you
I'm
accept
not
my
doing what the
answer
guy
of no?
said.
Do you think that
What-
my answer of no is reasonably true?
What?
Do you think that my answer of no is reasonably true after listening to that clip as well as further explanation?
No, yeah, I think those people in the clip were like in the wrong. I'm not agreeing with them. I was asking before, and if you tried to dox them because like I didn't even hear the argument because of the debate you had with them.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Like, my answer to that question was no. Do you think that my answer to that question was reasonably true? Like, do you think it's reasonably true that no, I didn't dox like this an innocent father that said kids can't consent to sex on either fronts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you for asking a question and accepting my answer. That's really cool. Now, if you want to move on to why you support Trump, take it away. I'm here to listen.
There's like many things, like the economy wasn't better overall. Like I really don't know much, but I do know when it was there, when I was living in the time that the economy actually just was better than it was from 2020 to like 2024.
Yeah, how old are you?
18. What,
Well,
what are they?
you'd
What are they
been
saying?
you'd have been
bro?
like a
No,
child.
no.
You'd
What
have
are
been
they
like
saying?
11. I don't know if like you had the faculties required to make like an economic evaluation and the efficacy of the presidency as it relates to the economy when you were like 12, right? So, I don't know if that's going to be a reliable argument. And then you also told me that the economy was worse from 2020 through 2024. Well, I mean, I think that you just kind of told the truth. The truth of the matter is that the economy was made worse by the pandemic, and I mean, we saw reactions from Trump in his last year as well as Biden and Harris for the first 2 or 3 years to combat the negative economic implications of the pandemic. Like Biden wasn't even president in 2020. That's when Trump was still president.
But I mean, I really don't have to be an adult to like see grocery prices going up, see gas prices going up, and when I was a kid, I could notice difference in price changing from like grocery shopping. A lot of things just went up. I feel like I don't have to be an adult for that.
Well, once again, you just said it yourself. The pricing of these goods in the economy was bad from like 2020 and then on from there, right? Well, 2020, Trump was still president then. So do you think that Trump and Biden were bad for the economy?
Well, what I just like I said, I don't really know much, but when do you think? What year do you think it went bad? Not when, like.
Well, it depends on
they
what
were-
macroeconomic indicator you're talking about. Unemployment went bad in 2020. April of 2020, our unemployment rate was 14.8%. That's when Trump was president. Was it because of Trump? No, it was because of business shutdowns related to the pandemic. Inflation went critical in like 2021, early 2022. Was that because of Biden? No, that was because of supply chain issues as well as a stimulus to the economy provided by both Biden and Trump. So it couldn't be blamed on either Biden or Trump. The big question that is necessary to ask when we're having these conversations about the economy under a given president to evaluate their efficacy or impact is to simply ask, well, what did they do? What policy did they influence to get passed? What trade agreements did they reach with other countries? What executive orders did they sign into the law? And then how did these things influence the economy? Because we can't just basically assume whatever happens in the economy while they're presidents to blame on them, or else we're just giving, very half-assed correlation, causation logic, and ignore the fact that there's about 1,000,000,001 variables that can influence what happens in a functioning economy outside of, the impact of the policy that a president passes.
So you can agree with the statement that the economy was better under Trump's run than it was under Biden's run. You can agree with that.
Yeah, like the economy was better in like 2017 than it was in 2022 within multiple facets. This informs us about nothing as it relates to like the efficacy of the presidents.
All right.
Do you reject that?
No.
No, okay. So if this
But
just simply isn't informative to the efficacy of the president, well, why do you support Trump?
Well, there's more reasons than just the economy, but I was asked why do you support Trump, so then I said economy. Economy is why I said that is because you can agree too that it was better when he was running.
And you disagree that this doesn't inform us about anything to do with how good he is for the economy, as we could attribute a lot of the downfalls of the economy in the last 4 years to an external variable of the pandemic. So, I mean, give me something that is informative of his impact on the economy. What's your favorite Trump economic policy?
I already said I was uneducated in this topic. I was just responding to what you said when you asked.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you agree that I was able to demonstrate how your reasons to support Trump are just insufficient because the reasons that you described just don't inform us of the efficacy of the president on the economy by basically assuming anything that happens in the country while they're president is caused by them?
I'm not gonna lie, you're talking so fast. I'm not gonna lie. You're making me
do you
scared.
agree that the reasons you granted for why you support Trump are bad reasons because those reasons don't inform us about anything that he has done?
Mildly bad, but to an extent, if a president runs, right, and he does good in said subject, and
well, that's the assumption. We don't know that he's done good. How do you know that he's done good for the economy?
It was good. Let me rephrase that. It was good.
So the economy was good under them?
Under Trump, yes.
So if
come
the economy
election,
was good under Trump, Trump caused it to be good. Is that your argument?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was good. I'm not saying he caused it to be good. I'm just saying it was good.
Okay, then that should give us zero information about why you support him as president.
All right. I guess, man.
You know, think about it this way. And during the summertime, more people eat ice cream and more people murder. Do you think that eating ice cream informs us at all about why more people murder? Just because when people eat ice cream, apparently more people also murder?
No, man, you're right.
Right. That's a correlation causation fallacy. So, you know, you can't just say, well, I mean, look at these macroeconomic variables in Trump's economy during his first term. I mean, if you can't isolate for, you know, the ways that Donald Trump caused them to be the case, they're just simply not informative as it relates to his ability to control or manage an economy. And I mean, if you want to argue that they are informative, that if the economy is doing well under Trump, then Trump caused it to be well, if that's the argument. Well, the inverse of that, if the economy is doing bad under Trump, then Trump caused it to be bad. Right. This means that Trump caused the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression in April of 2020 at 14.8%. This means that Donald Trump has caused, you know, the slight recess in our GDP during the first financial of this term. This means that Donald Trump has caused the imbalances in the stock market. This means that Donald Trump has caused a stagnation in investment into American industries. And I don't have to give you any further explanation of what he's done to cause these things because they've just simply happened under his term. And I could just assume that he's caused it because it happened under his term.
I get that, but what I was trying to say was, if there's two presidencies, one presidency it's a good economy and things are going well. The second one there isn't. Come election year, I'm not going to vote for the one that wasn't. I said I was uneducated, so I wouldn't be able to provide.
If you're still defending if you're still defending that view after everything that I've described to you, I'm going to describe you as being willfully ignorant. If this is still a view that you're defending, like even after my explanation of why it's not a view you should defend, you are willfully ignorant. It's not that you're uneducated, it's that you don't want an education and that you don't want to apply said education to your thought processes.
I was trying to actually just finish what I said the first time.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right, man. So you're just like restating your original argument. Well, now that I've explained why your original argument is bad, do you accept that your original argument is bad?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other arguments that you'd like to run?
No, man. Have a good day. Cookie Mogsy.
Appreciate you for coming up, man. Have a good rest of your day. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, do just give us a minute. Make sure to hop in that queue. If you support Trump, we'll happily pull you up onto the stream for a conversation. Make sure if you are in that queue that you support Trump. Let's go to get that very next guest loaded into the live. Here we go, everybody. We got Big J Mac loading in, guys. Make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen and sharing out that live with a handful of friends. Also, for everybody spamming his third repost down below in the chat, I saw his third repost. It was kind of funny. It was just a hate post on me and Parker saying that we read all these crazy hypotheticals. It was funny. It was funny. What's up, J Mac? You support Trump?
Yes.
All right, age, please.
I'm 18.
Great. What year were you born in?
2006.
Cool. Let's hop into a debate quickly before we do. Angela, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. I want to see 100 Angela W's down below. Angela says, I see the things you post on Facebook and appreciate everything you do on that platform too. Angela, fun fact, that's not me. That's an imposter. I'm not even joking. It's not me. It's not managed by me. It's not managed by anybody on my team. I have no association with the Dean Withers Facebook. I just haven't done anything about it because they're running it okay. And they have like hundreds of thousands of followers that are disproportionately older people over there. So I've just let them do their thing. But is it me? No, it's not. As well as Brian, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. This is for owning MAGA. Appreciate you for the love, Brian. Jesse with the $2 saying, fuck him up, kid. Love you. Love you too, Jesse. Thank you for your kindness. As well as Peter, man. Thank you so much for the 100 DKK over on YouTube Super Chat. Saying, have I seen Trump embarrassing himself at the UEFA's Cup? Yeah, he got booed by the whole crowd. That was hilarious. Anyways, go ahead and take it away, Mr. J Mac. Why do you support Trump?
First, I want to ask, aside from character, why can't you support Trump? I don't want any of character. His character is obviously the worst character, enemy president I've had in my lifetime. Aside from character, why can't you support Trump?
Cool. Well, I mean, I want to, give the red flag here. We should be concerned about an individual's character. An individual's character should inform us if we support them in a position of a public office or not. But I mean, if you're more so just asking that question to see if there's any other reasons, sure there is. I mean, his policy is terrible, dude. He's completely incompetent. He's never spoken intelligently about policy. He has no ability to negotiate with other countries. His economic policy is terrible for wealth redistribution, incredibly expensive, spending more with one bill in Congress than every penny spent by the Biden-Harris administration in 4 years on non-COVID related expenditure, while also redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich, defunding our education systems, defunding food stamp benefits, and defunding Medicaid. It's just terrible, man. And I mean, that's just his economic policy for his tax
So-
cuts. When we factor in his tariffs, which is also a regressive tax on the poor that disproportionately impacts them since they spend a disproportionate amount of their income on the bare necessities to live. You see more wealth redistribution from the poor to the rich, and then a social policy like repealing Roe v. Wade and sending it back to the states. That's led in 66 million human rights violations by denying 66 million American women and girls access to abortion. See, the big problem here is his policy is just as bad as his character.
So the big beautiful bill, I heard you bring up a point about that, the Medicaid, SNAP, and everything like that. They weren't defundings; they were refinements. So he was taking people off of it who don't need it. So equity, I think it was over $1.2 million. I mean, I know there's some dude. He literally
It's not
debunked-
defunding; it's refinement. Go ahead.
Exactly. There's a bunch of dead people on Medicaid. They're taking those people off, and people who don't need it. Medicaid, he's defunding Planned Parenthood. So no more paid abortions.
Oh,
I don't
dude,
agree with that.
dude,
Abortions,
that's
I think
also
they are
propaganda. That point is completely propaganda. You just said he's defunding Planned Parenthood. There's no more paid abortions. That is complete BS, total propaganda. So the federal government, no, listen, the federal government gives how many dollars to Planned Parenthood to specifically fund abortions per year?
I think 114 million.
Wrong. They give $0 to Planned Parenthood specifically to fund abortions. So federal funds do not cover elective abortions for any women ever. Okay? All that the reallocation of funding in this bill does is Planned Parenthoods do a lot of other things, like provide access to contraceptives. In some cases, provide access to OBGYNs, provide access to birth control, provide access to pregnant women that don't want to abort their child but just want to have resources so they're ready to raise it. And what the defunding for Planned Parenthood does is if any facility offers abortions that aren't paid for by the state but are electively paid for by the person getting it, they don't get federal funding for anything else that they do. So it's defunding pap smears, it's defunding STD testing, it's defunding access to birth control, it's defunding access to new mother resources. I mean, it's literally called Planned Parenthood, right? So that's definitely something for your consideration. I absolutely disagree with that defunding. I think that it's morally atrocious. And I have about a billion other critiques of the other things that you said, but I want to start on this point. Take it away.
There was another one I forgot. Hold on, give me a second. Could you just topics? None of the explanations, just topics of what you said before.
Yeah, I want you to respond to what I just said up there about Planned Parenthood. They're not defunding the federal government paying for abortions. They're defunding the federal government paying for cancer screening, STD testing,
As you were
pap
saying,
smears, new parent resources.
Before, I said I didn't really honestly, in my whole heart, agree with that, because abortions, I'm one of those conservatives that I don't believe in religion and everything like that. I'm agnostic. So I keep abortions, all that, to opinions. My opinion, I don't agree with abortions, but I keep that opinion to myself because, again, it's not my body, not my choice.
I mean, I appreciate that. That just means that you're pro-choice.
And
So you should
as
agree
well
with me
as-
here that defunding, cancer screening, STD testing, pap smears, and other, forms of sexual health
Parenthood does all that?
medicine. Yes, they do. For women, under a healthcare system that is already sexist and knows more about male pattern baldness than they do pregnancy, is an incredibly immoral, terrible idea.
Well, back to what I was saying. Planned Parenthood, I did some research and it said $114 million a year goes to abortions through Planned Parenthood.
That's propaganda. No, $114 million go to Planned Parenthood per year to fund everything else they do. Federal funds funding access to abortion has been illegal for 20 years.
Well, I see you typing. I'll give you a second.
No, I'm finding you what made it illegal for federal funds to fund abortion. The Hyde Amendment. It's actually been illegal for longer than 20 years. It's been illegal since 1976. Since 1976, it has been illegal for federal funds to go to paying abortions under the Hyde Amendment.
So it's illegal?
It has been illegal since 1976 for a single dollar from our federal government to fund abortions.
Let me do my research then. Let me do my research.
All those funds, they fund other things that Planned Parenthood do.
You said the Hyde Amendment?
Yeah, the Hyde Amendment. HYDE. Hyde Amendment, 1976. While he's looking that up, everybody, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Yeah, the reason why they've made this part of the bill all about abortion is because that federal funding being denied to these Planned Parenthoods is literally contingent upon these Planned Parenthoods offering access to abortion. So this is just like another way to pressure blue states into effectively criminalizing access to abortion by getting rid of it because maybe these Planned Parenthoods will need that federal funding, right? And use an individual that said that you were pro-choice. You should not only disagree with this for the reason that it's restricting upon the pro-choice worldview by making it harder for women, even in blue states, to access abortion, but also because it is making it harder for women in blue states to access abortion by essentially leveraging everything else that Planned Parenthood does for new moms and new dads.
So here I'm reading this. It is illegal, but for low incomes, it's insured. And 17 states use the funds to pay for abortions for women.
So you're talking about state funding.
I mean,
so states can choose to use their funds to pay for abortions for Medicaid enrollees, and that's actually based upon the Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment only specifically makes it illegal for federal funds to be delegated towards women's access to abortion, and that's something that I clarified on.
I see that
2 minutes ago. It's illegal for a single penny from the federal government to pay for an abortion. But because of the limitations of the Hyde Amendment, states can still delegate some of their funding towards funding access to abortion for Medicaid enrollees.
All right. Well, I see the federal funding for abortions not allowed.
Right. So do we see? So of that $141 million that's going to Planned Parenthood, being taken away from Planned Parenthood, it's actually just defunding everything else that they do, like cancer screening, access to contraceptives, planning for new families, STD testing, pap smears, and everything else.
Well, you got me there. And you said earlier about the tariffs. You agreed bad.
Before we move on to the tariffs, I want to address everything else that you said, because you said the 1.1 trillion that's being taken away from Medicaid isn't defunding. It is just
it won't defund hospitals.
It's not defunding. What did you call it?
It's not defunding anything. It's not. There's no 1.1 trillion being taken away. It's literally just a refinement, getting people off of it who don't need it.
Refinement.
Adding
That's right.
Adding work requirements for people who do want to use it. There's that 20 hours a week, and if you can't work, then you're considered disabled. That's an opinion. Okay.
So that's just one part of it. So what you're doing is you're trying to make one part of it the whole, but that's not true. So is it true that it is now imposing a new work requirement for individuals, collecting Medicaid? Yes, that is true. But is it true that that work requirement is the only thing that is being revised in Medicaid from the BBB? No, that's not true. So yes, it is adding that work requirement for the low-income Americans, but it is defunding $1.1 trillion from Medicaid, which is expected to significantly increase premiums that will lead to millions of low-income Americans that are meeting that work requirement being kicked off of the services because they can't cover these higher premiums. And then even about, that quote-unquote refinement of the introduction of the 80-hour per month work requirement, I think that's a bad idea. One reason why I think that's a bad idea is because of the administrative burden. When Arkansas implemented a statewide work requirement for Medicaid, 18,000 people lost coverage that were working 80 hours a month because they couldn't fill out the proper paperwork to prove it. The administrative burden is crazy. Imagine what this will do in the macro scale of the whole country. Millions of people are going to be kicked off that are working that much just because they can't fill out the proper paperwork. And then even on top of that, I agree that our government should have policies to incentivize employment. That's a given. That's a bipartisan agreement. I just think that policy should be separate and decoupled from healthcare policy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I that's probably something you haven't thought about before, but it's like the moment I say it out loud, you're like, oh, duh, like Dean has a point. Let's incentivize employment. Let's get people to work at least 80 hours a month if they're able-bodied. Awesome. No disagreement from me. But to use healthcare policy that's supposed to keep people alive to do it, nah, man.
I mean, but with with the healthcare policy and everything like that, it kind of guarantees most people are doing that aside from a basic incentive.
It guarantees that all people are going to do that. No, if it guaranteed that all people were going to do that, then we wouldn't see projections from the CBP saying that 17 million people are going to expected to lose service in the next 10 years.
You have to work now. There's no other choice. If they wanted that healthcare, they do have to work. If they wanted that SNAP benefits, they do have to work. There's the work requirements for all this now. FAFSA.
Wait, quick question. Does it create more jobs? Damn. See what I mean? Like, it's just boom. One issue right there. One issue with no second thought. Obviously, this is a policy that is not thought out, is not comprehensive. And we shouldn't just have the idiocratic government saying, oh, we need more people to work, so therefore let's impose a work requirement on something that's supposed to keep people alive. That's not something we should do. No. Let's keep that policy separate and decoupled from healthcare policy.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Great, man. I'm happy. You are great. I really appreciate this awesome conversation that you're having with me.
I'm a person that's willing to learn. I am willing to learn. I like to hear both sides. I like to hear all arguments. It gives me a chance to help me form my own opinion with all the facts. Again, you're giving me some of the facts here, and I agree with most of what you're saying.
I have a lot of respect for that, bro.
And then we're done with this part of it because I wanted to head on to the tariffs. Because
before we move on, I have to thank a handful of people. You guys have been going crazy on the donations. There's holy fuck. There's around 5 or 6 people here that I have to thank. And you guys are just going absolutely crazy. Disgusted Veteran, first and foremost. Disgusted Veteran. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Veteran. I want to see 1,000 Veteran W's down below in the comment section. Thank you for the $100 super chat. Veteran says, are you prepared? The more familiar / accepted that you become, the more dangerous you will be to them. These are mindless cultists and they will continue to come at you. This boomer supports a good fight with people like you at the helm. Veteran, I really appreciate you for the love. And Veteran, I honestly hope that, you're enjoying this current conversation because I agree with you. You're scorned because you see so many of these Trump supporters being mindless. But I mean, the guy that we have on live right now, he's not. He's making concessions, and I appreciate that. So I bet you're enjoying this conversation. It really does show the progress. But seriously, Veteran, thank you so much for the $100 super chat, as well as Nicholas with the $100 super chat over on Venmo. Dude, let's get 1,000 Veteran W's down below in the comment section and 1,000 Nicholas W's. Nicholas says, "Keep building your platform. Keep debating. You are doing a fantastic job, Nicholas." $100. That is crazy. I really appreciate you for your kindness, Nicholas, with the $100 donation as well as your kind words. I want fucking everybody to be spamming 1,000 Nicholas W's down below, as well as Rose. Thank you for the $10. That's incredibly kind of you, Rose. And then also, holy crap, dude. John, thank you for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Let's get 500 John W's. John just says, thanks for the conversations. John, thank you for the $50 donation to support the stream and what we do here, as well as listening to the conversations. 500 John W's. And let's get 2,000 Denise W's for the $200 donation over on PayPal. Like, you guys are going crazy today. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you, Denise, for the $200 PayPal. Denise says, "Hi, Dean. I sent you $200 yesterday on YouTube. Bear Bernard, I remember you. Dude, Denise, thank you. I'm so glad that after that donation, you informed the listeners that you do not get the entirety of the donations over on YouTube. So I opened a PayPal account to remedy this on my part. Your friend in the progressive fight, Bear Bernard. Dude, Bear Bernard, Denise, Bear, I love you. Thank you for your kindness. Can we get 2,000 Denise W's down below in that chat? And we're not even done yet. I also have to thank Jay for the 125. Like, what the fuck is going on? The $125 donation over on PayPal. Jay says, all donations from your fans come with the same love. Thank you. You thank them with. You rock, man. Dude, I don't deserve this amount of love at all. You guys are going crazy right now. Let's get 1,500 JWs. Seriously, you don't know how much I appreciate you, Jay. Show some motherfucking love to Jay down below in that comment section right now for the $125 donation. And we have one more. Holy shit. Elizabeth with the $100 donation over on PayPal as well. Like what is going on? What the fuck is going on? Elizabeth, thank you so much for your kindness. I want to see 1,000 Elizabeth W's down below in that comment section for the $100 donation. Thank you, Elizabeth. That is so kind. Elizabeth says, I struggle debating MAGA. I get so frustrated so fast. Watching you inspires me. Keep it up. Elizabeth, I get it. it can get incredibly frustrating at times. It's been a learned skill of mine to try to keep my cool, but I even lose my cool sometimes. Just know that is completely natural and normal. And I really thank you for your $100 donation. Guys, if we could please show some love in the chat to all of these incredibly kind donors, that would be so awesome. Thank you all. That's just like an unprecedented level of love. I don't deserve that at all. I want you guys to know that I love and appreciate the hell out of y'all. So please show some love to our donors down below in the chat while we direct the mic back to JMac here to further our debate. Now, JMac, the mic is all yours. W donors in the chat, take it away and tell us why you support Trump, or another reason why you support Trump.
Back, just want your opinion on the tariffs real quick. What do you think about the tariffs and what they've done? I see that we were in a $27 billion budget surplus for the month of June 2025. I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think the tariffs are a good thing now, or do you think they're still a bad thing and they're hurting the Americans more? Like I heard arguments of they were hurting farmers, they were hurting many different people.
So farmers hurt us a lot. They do. I'm going to go to respond to the first point that you made there about them creating a surplus by generating more revenue for our government. They do. Obviously, tariffs do that. I think that the Trump administration says they've generated $3 billion in the last 160 days. Now, the only issue with that is this money is not coming from mega corporations overseas or mega corporations importing these goods. They're coming from the average American and disproportionately low-income Americans that buy the goods and pick up that tariff from whoever is importing them. I mean, think about it. You know, like the megacorps producing goods overseas, their profit margins are what? 3, 4, 5%? Okay, well, they don't have the margins to sink and cover the cost of a 25% tariff. And then the big importers, too. I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar corporations. What are their profit margins? 3, 4, 5%, the same thing. So they can't consume the tariffs either. So ultimately, it is passed off to the consumers and small businesses. They are paying that price. It's just another tax on the American people. But this tax is disproportionately paid more by low-income Americans since they spend a greater proportion of their income on not just the bare necessities to live, but everything. And for that reason, I completely disagree with it.
Me, myself, I live in Colorado. It's already a pretty expensive state.
You live in Colorado? Where at?
Colorado Springs on Fort Carson.
Dude, nice, man. I was living out in Boulder for a couple of years.
Nice. What's it called? Colorado, as you know, you've lived there. It's a pretty expensive state as is, you know, pretty hard to live here. But you make a good amount of money. I didn't honestly notice, me, myself, any price changes in anything but gas, which is normal to see gas bumping around a little bit. You know, I see it go from 70 at Sam's Club to $3.50 at Maverick. You know, I haven't honestly seen anything like that. So that's why I myself agreed with tariffs to an extent. I didn't honestly see it hurting anybody.
Who's paying the tariff? Tell me.
Again, you said the low income consumers.
Wait, who do you think it is? Who do you think is paying the tariff?
Honestly, me, myself, as of right now, I thought before it was those big corporations that couldn't raise the prices.
Can you name a single big corporation that sells goods to American consumers that operates at a profit margin like any more than 5%?
Cannot.
Right, because they don't exist. It's literally physically infeasible to assume that the American companies are consuming the cost of the tariff. It's just infeasible. Literally the only way that these tariffs can be paid is if they're passed off to the consumer by increasing the pricing of these goods. It's the only way. There's no other way. Let me see here.
Let's see. Hold on.
I don't know what the repost is that you guys are talking about. Like, I just don't know who that is. I'm going to go and believe the chat. I appreciate you guys for pointing that out. JMac, I appreciate you for the convo, bro. According to the chat, you got a fucking weird repost. It's not promoting SA. I don't know. So people in the chat, I don't know. The people in the chat are saying that you have a repost that's like promoting SA. You
know who Corey Kenshin is?
No, I don't. Who is that?
He's a YouTuber who was recently accused of sexual assault, but it was cleared by the person who was saying it was sexual assault. She said she was sexual assault, but then her and her friend came out and lied, saying the messages were fake. And I guess that's about it.
So like the person that made the allegation retracted them?
Yes, they retracted the statements literally a day after. Like the allegations were made yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Retracted that.
All right. Okay.
So if you still want to kick me out, I understand.
No, man. I mean, I'll just take your word for it. And I guess, do you have anything else that you want to go over? I kind of feel like we've covered a handful of things.
It says here that President Trump plans to impose a 30% tariff on European Union and Mexico on August 1st.
Right. Why would we want to tariff the EU and Mexico?
No, I just wanted to see like your opinion on that. Like,
I disagree with that. I mean, I just think that it's a unnecessary restriction on the market that's inevitably paid for disproportionately by low-income Americans. I support the globalization of commerce and focusing on comparative advantage. I think that we should make what we're good at making. It's going to be what's most productive for our economy, et cetera. And I think that forcing those tariffs on Mexico as well as the EU are ultimately going to disrupt global supply chains and force us to make things that we're not as good as making as other countries. This will also have a lot to do with, making the like raw materials to build other goods. I mean, what do we want to be focused on making? Like more expensive, valuable commodities that require raw materials to build them, or the raw materials themselves. We would probably want to focus on making the more expensive commodities that are built using those raw materials. That will lead in like higher paying jobs, higher GDP per capita on average, and higher quality of life. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go to move on to the next guest. I appreciate you for coming up here, J-Mac.
All right, man. I appreciate you. I'm a big fan. Just to let you know. Even as a Trump supporter, I'm a really big fan. You're a smart dude. Appreciate you for your time, man.
Cool. I hope that you end up changing your mind on these things. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got Gavin loading up in the box. What the fuck? Oh my God. Sean. Dude. Sean with the $650 donation over on PayPal. What the fuck? Oh my God. Dude. What is going on today, man? I'm lost for words. I'm being so serious. I do not deserve that. It's just not something I deserve. It's not something I deserve at all. And the fact, Sean, that you donated that to me, holy fuck, I really appreciate you for your generosity. Oh my God, can we please get like 10,000 Sean W's in the live chats? Keep in mind that is Sean spelled S-E-A-N. Dude, what is going on today? Man, Sean, the dude. Sean says, we got to make sure that we read Sean's message. Sean says, as a 39-year-old liberal progressive and a once misguided Republican, you are fantastic. Well done. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I really appreciate your donation and your support of what we do here. I don't even know what to say. I'm thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody show some love to Sean in the comment sections while we're working on getting the next person up here to debate. Like seriously, I mean, the moment that we get this next Trump supporter up here, obviously, like we're gonna go back to the debates. I don't want to see like the Sean W's in the chat stop. I just thank you so much, man. I'm eternally grateful for you and for your kindness, and I mean that. I fucking mean that shit. That is just insane. It's just even hard to put it into words. Just know that I truly do appreciate you for your generosity. I do not take it for granted, as well as to everybody else. I just want to say I just recognize the privilege of the position that I'm in, and I don't take the position that I'm in for granted either. And I want to make sure that that is heard very loud and clearly. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. Dude, W Sean's in the chat while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. Here we go, everybody. W fucking Sean's. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and load up our next guest here. Wow. Okay. Hey, what is going on? Do you support Trump? Chad, are you here? Okay, all right. Chad's not here, so we're going to move on to the next guest. If you're watching in your MAGA and you'd like to come up and have a debate with me, go ahead and let me know down below in that chat by dropping a MAGA with your name. Right now, we have 7.7 thousand people on the TikTok stream, and we only have 26 guest requests. So if you happen to be watching and you want to support Trump and you support Trump and you want to come up here and debate, just put a MAGA down below in that chat with your age. We'll get you pulled up here. Also, hop in the queue. I definitely want to call for any and all Trump supporters that are American adults that want to debate to hop in the queue right now. Because we have so little guest requests, the likelihood of you actually getting up here is high. So, I mean, if you wanted to debate me for a while, but you just haven't joined the queue because it's always been full, right now we only have 28 guest requests, so the likelihood is high of you getting a debate today. Welcome in, Doom. How old are you?
I did not mean to request. I'm sorry.
Wow, that was a child that knew Doom. Holy cow. That guy's going to be cool as hell when he grows up. But let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Let's go and get our next guest, Derby, up in here. This is a fetus. I knew Doom. Dude, that guy's parents must be like rad. You know what I mean? He must have some like really cool parents. Welcome in, Derby. Do you support Trump? Okay, Derby's not here. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got YT Narcos loading in, everybody. Just make sure that we're also double tapping on that phone screen, so hopefully we could shoot out across that For You page. It'll help really draw some more people in here to debate. Welcome in, YT. Do you support Trump?
Absolutely, man, I do.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into our debate. Real quick, I would like to thank Rose for the $10 over on Venmo. Let's show some love to Rose down below. Thank you so much, Rose. As well as Pamela with the $5 over on PayPal and Jillian with the $5 as well. Guys, thank you all so much for the love. Now, also, I didn't even see this. Sharon, thank you for the $50 super chat on YouTube. 500 Sharon W. Sharon says, "Hi, Dean. It takes a lot of courage to sit there not knowing what's coming your way and to maintain your cool. You're a one smart cookie." Well, Sharon, I appreciate you for your words. I've been working better on maintaining my cool. I think that that is important for these productive conversations. You know, I had a little bit of a wake-up call recently. You know, I definitely need to be more mature and definitely manage like the way I act and respond to the guests significantly differently. But I appreciate you for the love, Sharon. Anyways, YT, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Hey, man, we're always growing and learning, so I like that. Dean, I like your content. Definitely MAGA supporter. But like I said, I like your content and the debates both ways. I really don't have anything specific to talk about. I just wanted to bring up maybe some something a little different as I reside in Texas. What do you think are some discussion points in regards to the handling of the most recent floods in Kerrville? I'm just curious your opinion on that.
Well, I mean, honestly, my opinion is to side with, surprisingly side, with, what the hell is the Senate? He's a Democratic senator. He kind of sucks. Senate investigation into floods. Let me get his name real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah. Well, I forget their names, but anyways, so Democratic senators have launched a probe or an investigation into the allocation or misuse of funding as it related to, you know, like the cities in Texas that were flooded, and to see if, you know, like the FEMA response or like the warning signals for like the onset of a flood were delayed because of a misappropriation or misallocation of funding. That's my stance. I agree with that. I think that an investigation should be done because there has been red flags into them like not accepting funding from the Biden-Harris administration and maybe like a defunding of NOAA or the NHS. You know, like I wouldn't say right now that we could just jump to the conclusion and say that like, oh yeah, like the Trump administration is 100% responsible for this. That's just my take, though. I'm sure that there's people that disagree with me, and I think that I would definitely align with launching a probe or an investigation into these things to make that conclusion a little bit more certainly.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Our you know, thinking is aligning on that. I also believe that some of that federal funding, whether you believe how fast it was or not, is definitely much needed in that area. As you know, the governor did say these things, you know, haven't happened in many, many years. So I agree with you. I do also feel that I know I live in Texas and we're a very independent state where we take in a lot of cost as well, and we do take in some support from FEMA. As we know, flooding is also popular in Houston. So, you know, I think that to deny any bit of money that's going to come to any state because of political preference or values is ultimately hideous. I will say,
Absolutely, it is hideous. And I mean, we saw like the state leaders, the city leaders that were flooded saying that they denied all this funding for the Biden-Harris administration because they thought that there was some communist regime. So it is hideous. Now, I'm actually happy that we could agree on that. That's pretty cool, man. Let's talk about something that we don't agree on, right? That's a reason I'm doing these.
Yeah,
lives,
right. So let's switch gears back to immigration, right? So my debate there, right, is if you look at the border crossings, there's some confusion to be not necessarily the human, they're going to beat them or anything like that. I don't agree that is stopping the flow of illegal entries, and this being from illegal entries of all countries, not Mexico, because here in Texas, a lot of people seem to think it's only Mexico.
Maybe I'm just a little bit confused. And like a sentence or less, could you tell us why you support Trump's immigration policy?
Oh, well, ultimately, that's what I was getting at. The numbers of entry are way down, which makes the United States safer, in my opinion.
Okay. I actually think that Donald Trump's mass deportation makes this country less safe by weakening the economy, thereby increasing poverty, thereby increasing crime, but we'll talk about that later. What specifically has Trump done to reduce undocumented entry?
Well, I mean, what are you talking, policy or in regards to?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
policy,
even
executive orders.
It doesn't even have to be policy. His presence alone as a president is what drives that, not because somebody's going to beat the heck out of him. That has nothing to do with it.
So we actually agree there. We actually agree. I think that his presence, I think that his presence has a lot to do with what has drove down undocumented entry. Now, a lot of people in the chat are calling that a lame response. No, I think that's actually the right response, and here's why. Because what about his presence, has been able to drive down and prevent undocumented entry? Is it maybe the fact that he's been illegally deporting undocumented immigrants, violating their constitutional and human rights, to have them beaten, tortured in a prison in another country for 3 weeks?
Where's the proof of that? There's proof both ways on both sides of the aisles where it is very valid. The MS-13 tattoos, like this stuff's not just made up. You have to understand whether you a fake gangster or you a real gangster, when you put that on your body, that's going to get you in trouble. And trust me, I got those tattoos, so I know completely.
So you just asked me for proof for something. What do you want me to give you proof for?
You said in regards to, what was your last point? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that like maybe Donald Trump's presence of violating the human and constitutional rights of undocumented immigrants, having them literally be beaten, tortured in another prison in another country illegally, is what is disincentivizing undocumented entry, because they think they'll have a lower quality of life because they're treated as things, not people, right? And I think that is a really big reason why we've seen a very sharp decline in undocumented entry. I think that's wrong because it's incredibly immoral. That one is a given. That's obvious. I shouldn't even have to explain myself there. And two, because it's short term. I mean, like the minute that we don't have a fascist lunatic in the Oval Office, we're no longer going to have this reorganization of an incentive structure that exists to prevent undocumented entry.
This is all opinion. I mean, the fascist, like that. I mean, come on, that's.
Okay, I had to kick them. There's something that he said that got us restricted. I don't know what he said, but nothing that I just said is a matter of opinion. No, it is not a matter of opinion. SCOTUS ruled that Abreu Garcia's removal was illegal, as well as it's not a matter of opinion that he was being tortured. We know that not just because his lawyer testified to that fact and he testified to that fact, but there's been hundreds of other inmates that have also testified to the same things happening to them. Welcome in, Super. Do you support Trump?
No, man. Can I preach about the Superman movie real quick, dude? It's super good, man. I just want to talk about it, dude.
Sorry, man. Not the time nor the space. We're going to move on to the next Trump supporter. I did watch the Superman movie last night. I don't know. There are a couple things in it that I thought were cool. I don't know if I liked it, though. I mean, I'm kind of like 50-50. I don't think that it was like a total waste of time, but I also don't think it was like my favorite movie ever. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like 50-50. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Hi. Yeah, I do support Trump.
Okay, well, I think that you're underage, plus you sound British, so we're going to move on to the next guest. If you happen to be one of these 7.6 thousand people watching the stream, everybody make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Yeah, also no spoilers about the Superman movie. With no spoilers, I think that my takeaway was, like, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. There's definitely some moments that were like, hell yeah. It was good. What is going on? Jewel, do you support Trump?
I support kitties on your debate, and I love you, Dean. Thank you for all you do.
I appreciate you for the love, Jewel. We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you're MAGA. Go to put a MAGA down below in that comment section with your age if you want to come up. What is going on, Greg? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Okay, how old are you?
18,
What year were you born in?
2006,
What month?
July.
July of 06? Does that make you 18, chat? What day in July?
11th.
11th. Wouldn't you be 19? Yeah, you'd be 19. You're lying. Bye-bye. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute here, y'all. Let's go to get the next guest loaded into the box, everybody. We got Steel loaded in. Here we go, everybody. Also, if you're watching and you want to support me, you want to support what we do here, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. Get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms, compared to like 30% on TikTok, 30 to 60% on YouTube. As well as I'll be able to shout you out, read off your name, and any and all attached messages. Welcome in, Mr. Steel. Do you support Trump?
I didn't mean to actually join. Can you just kick me? I'm sorry.
Of course, man. No worries. All right, we're going to start trying to pull from that chat compared to the queue. So, I mean, if you want to come up and debate, meaning that you're an American adult, let me know down below by just dropping a MAGA with your age. We'll get you pulled up here. Everybody, just, give us a minute here. The person in the chat that I kicked with a British accent said that they grew up in Essex, but they are American. Let's go and pull them back up. I sent you an invite. We're also going to be looking for anybody else to come up here and have a conversation with us. So just be patient while we're going to get in the next guest up here. Hi. So you're American?
Hi. Yeah, I have American relatives. They live in Houston.
Are you American?
Half, but I've never grown up in America. I've grown up in Essex.
You have American citizenship?
Yeah, I have an American passport.
I mean, that's all that you need to be able to debate. You just need to have the ability to vote. I do want to fact check that real quick. Did you vote in the last election?
No, because I'm not in America, and I've been busy with university.
I don't know, chat. Should we trust this? I'll let the chat decide. No.
I can tell you the university I go to if that helps.
No worries. It'll just be a university in Essex. So, I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna necessarily doubt your claims, because even if you do have an American passport, you're an American citizen. If you just grew up and still live in Essex, overseas, and you didn't vote in the election, there's probably some level of detachment there away from the American political system that would be a prerequisite to having these debates. What is going on, Henry? Do you support Trump? Moving on to the next guest, we're going to go to Samai up in the box. Here we go, everybody. It's also possible for people to live overseas and be pretty attached to the American political system. But most of the people that live overseas, in the UK, for instance, that are attached and care about these things, if they have the ability to vote, they probably would have. You know what I mean? We're going to move on. Here we go, everybody. We have nearly 8,000 people in the stream, and not one person that is really willing to come up here and have a debate.
Hey, just wanted to say good luck.
I appreciate that, man. Have a good one. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Guys, where are the Trump supporters at? Make sure if you're in that queue, you are an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump. Please follow the rules, everybody. Welcome in. Artemis, do you support Trump?
Hi, yeah, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I was
You're-
born in January 2007.
Okay. I'm getting pretty strong troll vibes off of you. Are you actually a Trump supporter?
I am, and I could tell you what I want to debate.
Okay. What do you want to debate?
So there was two things. One of them I'm actually not too familiar with, but I wanted your take on it. So it was Biden funding Iran during his presidency, and I know it's the but Biden thing, but I just wanted your opinion.
Well, my opinion is that they not only kept the economic sanctions imposed by the Trump administration, but imposed more sanctions 3 times. So I don't know if that's a super good point. Now, yeah, back to the prompt. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Bye.
Okay, please don't do that. We really are just looking for some debates. Please don't come up here and troll. Don't do that. It really does slow down the live stream, especially when you know that you're not supposed to. And then I even give you the opportunity to just be honest and say that you're a troll. You know, it's that. That is I gotta say that point that crosses a threshold and becomes sufficiently fucking annoying. Welcome in, Teague. Do you support Trump? All right, Teague's not here. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. Phenomeno. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
I didn't mean to join.
No worries. See, if you don't mean to join, I don't care. I get it. No worries at all. Moving on, guys. Looking for one person to come up here and have a debate with us. What's going on, SER? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, least obvious troll ever. Goodbye. Moving on to Elliot Mass. Here we go, everybody. Once again, going to put a MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to come up and have a debate. What's up, Elliot? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you, Bored Now? Do you support Trump, Bored Now? Okay, it doesn't look like they're here. It's just you, Elliot. Elliot, how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Take it away. Why do you support the man, the myth, the failure, Donald J. Trump as president?
I don't know. I just, really like his policies.
Oh, you like his policies. Name one.
It's because of those damn niggers, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, can't name a policy, so you just throw a racial slur out there. That's MAGA, or at least a portion of it. Incredibly embarrassing. And incredibly gross as well. Moving on to the next guest, we got Haley loading up in the box. Here we go, everybody. We're going to get that next guest loaded into the box right now. Going to put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you want to come up and debate. Welcome in. Haley, do you support Trump? Looks like Haley is leaving. Haley is leaving. Unfortunately, it's been around 15 minutes without a single debate when we have over 11.5 thousand people watching the stream on TikTok and YouTube combined. Very crazy that we can have such a large and significant amount of people tuning into the live stream with such a small and insignificant amount of people that are truly willing to debate. As far as I'm concerned right now, there's actually nobody watching the live that is truly willing to debate because I just can't find anyone. So if that's you, if you're the diamond in the rough, a needle in a haystack, and you are a Trump supporter that's at least 18 years old and you are ready and willing to come up here and have a debate with me about why you support him, please do let me know. I'd love to have you up here to have a conversation. We are truly, doing as much outreach as possible to find anybody to converse with right now. What's going on? Observatory, do you support Trump? We could hear you. You just put your keys or your phone down on the table. You are here. I'll go to give you around 5 seconds to talk. We hear them. Like, they hear us. We hear them. What's going on? Dude, beats me, man. Beats me. Like, why hop in the queue if, like, you are going to join, but you're just not going to talk? I don't get it. I don't get it. What's going on? Do you support Trump? Okay, Lee's not loading in. Moving on to the next guest here. Everybody just do be patient. We're going to go to get our next guest, Joseph, up in the box. Hopefully Joseph will finally be the person to come up here and have a conversation. What's up, Joseph? Do you support Trump? Okay. He actually left. What about Morgan? We'll cast our line out to Morgan and Matthew. Let's see here. And Sander. How about that? What's going on, Morgan? Do you support Trump? No, Morgan doesn't. Morgan hopped in the queue without an intention to debate. What about you, Sander? Do you support Trump?
Nah.
No. Okay. You also just hopped into the queue without an intention to debate. Looks like Matthew isn't here either. Matthew's just straight up not loading in. So we're going to kick Matthew. So Jordan re-requested for a second time, and I let him up for a second time, and he left for a second time. Okay. All right. Looks like Kayla was in the queue too. I have Kayla up here. Kayla leaves. What about Devin, everybody? This is the worst I've seen it, says somebody in the chat. Yeah, this is definitely pretty bad. Hi, Devin. Do you support Trump? Another guest that's not saying anything. I'll give you around 5 seconds here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're going to go and give this another good effort for a minute or two. We're going to go to give this another good effort for a minute or two. Let's see here who's next. We got Gav loading up in. We'll also load in plus 30 diamonds. What about Tom? Okay, so Gav loaded in. He left, as every guest before him did as well. We got Tom and Bailey loading in. Let's see if they connect it. Welcome in, Bailey. Do you support Trump? Nope, Bailey left, just like every other guest. Don't know why you're hopping in the queue if you want to leave. Mr. Clutch, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Tom left. All right, Mr. Clutch, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. What are your thoughts on, watching us have 11.5 thousand people watching the stream, which is a lot of people, but yet it's still taking me 20 minutes to find one debate? What do you think that tells me? What does that tell you about all of the Republicans watching live?
Well, I can't speak for everyone. I also don't think a whole lot of Republicans watch a liberal. I do like looking at both sides because I'm not strongly one way or the other. I try to see which one aligns with me more.
assuming that even 10% of our audience are Republicans, 10%, that means that there's over 1,000 Trump supporters watching the live right now. Out of 1,000 Trump supporters, you're the only one to want to hop on the mic. I appreciate that from you. So take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, I actually support his de-immigration policies.
Is de-immigration, so like his mass deportation?
Yeah, that's what I kind of meant to say. So
Right.
I'm not like a professional debater. I do tune in and I listen to what you say a lot. Just like I listen to what Charlie Kirk says, Parker. I listen to everybody. Just trying to keep me updated on what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely think that you have a hard uphill battle to fight here. I think that mass deportation is not just a bad policy, but truly one of the worst policies our country's ever seen. Now, if you would like to attempt to justify it, please tell me what is one good outcome on America caused by mass deportation. And I will ask you here to be specific.
Okay, so how I view it is if someone enters my home, I want them out. You know, even if they're doing good things, like let's say they come in and do the dishes for me, right?
Well, I don't think that a comparison between your home and the country is going to be a fair comparison. Like for instance, do you control the doors to your home? Do you control who comes in and out? Do you personally control that?
I mean, I got my door and I lock it, yeah.
All right, so you control that. Now, do you personally control who comes in and out of this country?
No, I don't. But
Right,
I
and you
feel
also
like-
don't have the authority to tell tourists from Germany to turn around, right? So that's a big difference. Another big difference is, do you have an expectation of personal privacy in your home?
Yes.
Do you have an expectation of personal privacy everywhere in the country?
Yes.
Is your home your property?
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, you said yes to the idea that you have an expectation of privacy everywhere in the country? That's not true. You do
Well,
not have an
obviously-
expectation of privacy in public.
Obviously, like legal people coming in, so people that are welcome into the home, as country is our home, right? So
One second, I'm still breaking down why these two things are not
Okay,
analogous.
let's keep going, sorry.
So you said that you do have an expectation of privacy in your home. Do you have an expectation of privacy everywhere in your country?
I would hope so, yeah.
No, you don't. Legally speaking, no, you're wrong. You do not have an expectation of privacy in public spaces. That's why people could record what you say or film you without your consent. They're protected under their First Amendment right because you don't have an expectation of privacy in public. So that is not true. Do you own your home? Is that your property?
I do not currently own it. No, I'm renting.
You're renting. So you have property rights over via like a renter's agreement, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have property rights over the country?
No, me personally, no, I don't.
Right. So for these reasons, I just find a comparison between one's home to be with a country to be incredibly misleading. And honestly, I just think it's kind of like an intuition pumper, because intuitionally speaking, you know, like we're supposed to have like an adverse response to like unknown people entering into your home without consent because it's your private property. You have an expectation of privacy, and you control who comes in and who comes out. It is your private space. Right, so that's what is generating those intuitions of being incredibly adverse to anybody coming into the home without your consent. But like, there's just same things are not true of the country as a whole.
Yeah, but can't you agree like that there's certain people that we want in our country and certain people that we don't, and if there's people that we don't want in our country, we should have them leave?
Okay, so I agree that there's some people that we don't want in our country. Now, is it feasible to assume that we could kick out people that we don't want in our country without a mass deportation? It is. I mean, think about an operation such as mass amnesty that will allow you to identify every single undocumented immigrant in this country, and particularly deport individuals with things like prior violent offenses, prior like extreme nonviolent criminal offenses, outstanding warrants from other countries, etc., while allowing everybody else that's a productive member of society a pathway to residency or citizenship, so they could continue to contribute to the GDP, work a job, and pay taxes. That sounds like a significantly better way to get people who we don't want in the country out of the country, and the ability to identify everybody that is in our country without like just completely destroying the economy, ripping mothers and fathers away from their families, violating people's human rights, or increasing poverty, right?
Yeah, but they like my whole issue is that they did the illegal act of coming into the country legally, just like if they, like I said, just like if they break into somebody's home.
Well, I've already given you a very fair explanation of how going into somebody's home is very different than coming into the country, and how that example, more so analogy, is just an intuition pump falsely because of the differences that I were able to point out. So please stop re-suggesting that argument unless you could respond to the very specific and distinct differences I pointed out between entering into somebody's home compared to entering into the country. Now, if your whole argument basically hinges on the idea that they're here illegally and we need to enforce the law, well, if we were to advocate for mass amnesty, that would be changing the law in the books, and we'd still be enforcing the law of undocumented entry for those that are already here by enforcing mass amnesty. So I don't see the issue here. We'd be enforcing the law.
Yeah, but like, why should we change the law for people that did an illegal act?
Great question. It's because it significantly benefits our country to change the law. And if we don't change the law and we continue on with an operation of mass deportation, we are going to significantly hurt this country. That is an incredibly compelling reason to change the law. How could you disagree with that?
Well, I do. So I've heard you bring up mass amnesty before, and there are parts of it that I do agree with. I don't like changing the law.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're supposed to like changing the law if it's better for the country. You know, like the argument that, like, think about it. Think about it. If you're saying that we shouldn't change the law, even if the current law really hurts people in this country and hurts the country as a whole, and if we were to change it, it'd help people in this country and help the country as a whole. If you just reject that notion and say that we still shouldn't change the law, wasn't this like the exact argument of people that argued for racial segregations in school and public businesses? Isn't this the exact argument of homophobes that said that we shouldn't legalize gay marriage? Isn't this the argument of Confederates that said we shouldn't federally criminalize the right to own a slave? Right? The idea that, well, I understand if, we legalize gay marriage, ban racial segregation, or ban slavery, right? People in this country are going to be materially benefited, and the country's going to be significantly better off now and for the future. But I don't care. We shouldn't change the law even if it benefits that country. That's your logic. And seemingly we've seen very bad actors all throughout history uphold the same logic of the Confederates, white supremacists, homophobic individuals, etc.
I mean, you do have a good point. I'm still pretty firm on the, we should get them out. But I do, like, that is actually a really good point. Like, I do somewhat agree.
Okay.
So I can give you that.
I'm going to give you the nail in the coffin. Because if the hill that you're dying on here is, we should enforce the law to the fullest extent of what the law is, and we shouldn't change the law, and we should always enforce the law, regardless of the outcomes that they generate, right? Regardless if it's good or bad for this country. Well, then what you say here, even if you think Trump's policy is good for the country, he should have been kicked out of the race the day he entered it because he's a 34-count felon that's been held civilly liable for grape.
Sorry, say that one more time. Sorry.
If you are truly and always tough on law and tough on crime and promote and promote what's legal, wouldn't you say that you absolutely have a red line against supporting Trump because he's broke the law, regardless of any positive outcomes that you think his policy will generate?
How has he broken the law? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, he was found guilty for and sentenced for 34 felonies, as well as he was held civilly liable for the violent sexual abuse or rape of Eugene Carroll.
See, I thought that didn't follow through.
Yes, everything I just said did indeed follow through. Everything. Every single thing I just said followed through. Then also, like, the view that we should, like, do what's worse for this country is crazy. Like, because that's also something that you'd have to be able to convince me of. Why should we do what's worse for this country? Why should we intentionally make this country and everybody in it worse off?
See, I don't think, like, mass deportation would be worse for this country. I think it would actually be better.
Okay. So then respond to my argument that it's worse for this country by significantly destabilizing our industries, by kicking out 8.3 million of their workers. Undocumented immigrants are more likely to work as well. They're harder workers. They pay $100 billion per year in taxes, and they increase the GDP every year by around $1 trillion through $1.7 trillion. You deport them all of a sudden our industries are destabilized because you're forcing their workers out. Less goods are being produced and less goods are being bought because you were also kicking out 12 million consumers that are buying the goods. GDP falls by a couple $1 trillion, and it costs $2 trillion to do it over 10 years. That's obviously going to have massive negative effects on the economy, massive negative effects on American industries, which is going to have massive negative effects on the amount of individuals working and the amount of money that individuals are making when they work, which will obviously increase poverty. With increased poverty comes an increase in crime rates. I mean, like, the outcomes of mass deportation here just sound like a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah, I feel like initially you're right, like, things like that would happen, but eventually we would be able to work back to where those jobs have now opened up for legal American citizens, yes or no?
No, absolutely not. I find that to be an economically unsound argument because the moment that we introduce a mass deportation, we are introducing an ever persisting restriction on the market. Those 12 million undocumented consumers that would have otherwise bought goods in our economy and contributed to the GDP will now not be able to buy goods in our economy and contribute to the GDP now or for the future forever. Right. So although in the future, like eventually our consumer base will grow because of reproduction and citizens having kids, and our GDP will continue to grow as well. Well, at the end of the day, you will always have that thought looming in the back of your head. If we never did that mass deportation, the economy would be better than whatever it is right now. Think about it this way. Imagine that I have an apple farm and I add more trees to my farm every year. And it's compounding. First year I make 1 apple, second year I make 2 apples, third year I make 4, fourth year I make 8, fifth year I make 16, sixth year I make 32, etc. Now, every single year I'm going to make more apples, right? But imagine if for the first 3 years I had a secondary vendor giving me 5 apples per year for free for no reason. And the secondary vendor would have continued to do this forever. If I cut their services off of giving me 5 apples per year for no reason, for sure, I will continue to have more and more apples every year because of the compounding growth of my own apple farm. But at the end of the day, in the back of my head, I'll forever know that if I never cut that original secondary vendor off, I would forever have 5 apples more than I do now.
Yeah, okay. That was a lot to take in, but from what I collected, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right, I know that was a lot to take in, so I tried to explain it with like an analogy there.
Yeah. But on that note, I do gotta head out. It was nice to actually finally get in and talk to you a little bit. And
cool, man.
Like I said, it does kind of I do like a lot of what you're saying. I don't know if I fully agree with it yet. I definitely like to sit on things. I know I'm prone to knee-jerk reactions. I like to sit on things and think about them a little bit. So definitely, I'll definitely think about it some more. So thank you for letting me in. It was nice talking to you finally.
Yeah, nice talking to you as well, man. Appreciate you for hearing me out. We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go. We got Connor loaded into the box, everybody. For the 7.8 thousand people watching the stream, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 2 million likes and make sure that you're sharing out this live as well. There's a shortage of Trump supporters. I don't know what it is. It is just really hard to find Trump supporters today. Maybe it's because I'm being a little bit more easier going and just focused on the facts today. I am pretty sure that every single argument that we've had provided so far today has just been deconstructed beyond any it's just been deconstructed completely. So maybe they're scared of joining. I don't know. What's up, Ava? How old are you?
Wait, hold on. Let me get my older sister.
Sorry, Ava. You are a child. I got to kick you. Move on to the next guest. Here we go. Let's see here. Tim, thank you for the $20 donation over at Super Chat saying money for smart people. Tim, I really appreciate you for your kindness, man. Can we get some 200 Tim W's down below in the comment section for quote unquote money for smart people? I love you so much. Thank you, Tim. As well as Max for the $5 over on Venmo saying, should I make chimichurri for my steak tonight or just let the meat do the talking? Bro, make some of that chimichurri. Keep in mind though, when you're making that chimichurri, to leave it in a mason jar or something for 3 hours before you eat your steak. It needs some time to kind of combine all the ingredients. So if you are going to do a chimichurri, you should do that right now. Now this guest isn't MAGA, it says taco in their bio. We're going to move on to the next guest. Make that chimichurri. Chimichurri sauce goes great, especially on a New York strip. Just make sure to make it a handful of hours before you eat the steak. Sid, thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on YouTube. Bye, Sid. Sid says, hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Just had the most irritating debate with my dad, but he rage quits every time. Dude, Sid, I would love to debate your father. I think I could change his mind, especially today. I'm feeling like I'm in a good mood. I'm being nice. I'm changing minds up here. We're actually doing something good for once, right? So you should send him up, Sid. Thank you for the $100 donation. I hope that you're doing all right. And I'm so sorry once again to hear that had happened with your dad. I know how mentally frustrating that is. Welcome in, FBI. Do you support Trump?
No.
Okay, bye. Somebody on Super Chat says, hey, Dan, I seriously think that the Epstein thing is keeping MAGAs glued to their own outlets. No, I agree. All the MAGA cultists that are deep in the lore, they're not talking to liberals right now because of the Epstein files. They just don't even know what to say yet. What's up? Do you support Trump? We're going to give you around 5 seconds here to respond. No, he's not here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Guys, go ahead and put a MAGA in that chat with your age if you want to come up. This is getting absolutely insane. We need some debates. Yo, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello? I do.
Age, please.
I'm almost 60, my friend. How are you?
How am I? I'm great. Did you ask how old I am? Because if you did, I'm 20.
Yeah, how old are you? Yeah.
I'm 20, dude.
All right.
A
Way to
third of
go.
your age. So let's
No,
talk
you
about
can
it.
be my child. That's all good.
Could be your
why do you
grandchild.
support, why do you support Biden? Tell me.
Well, I mean, the point of the live is to discuss the efficacy of the current administration. The question, why did I support Biden, would have been relevant a handful of months ago. I failed to see its relevance now. Now, if you want to ask me why I don't support Trump, feel free. But, I mean, I would much rather give you the upper hand by allowing you to position the debate around the good reasons why you support Trump. I fear if I start off by telling you why I don't support Trump, the conversation will be over pretty quickly.
You're fine. I'm pretty grounded. So it's real simple to me. Do I support 100% of what he does? Absolutely not. Do I support the border control and the controls he's put in the border? 100% correct.
Dude, you shouldn't support anything that he's done for the border. It is
Okay,
seriously laughable.
Tell me why. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, because
now.
he's implemented no long-term solutions at all. And like the main reason why we've seen a reduction in undocumented entry is by like basically telling undocumented immigrants that if they do come in, they'll be beaten and tortured like Abrigo Garcia. Not only is that a short-term solution, but it's also an immoral solution.
No, they're not torturing and beating these guys. Come on, don't play into that.
No, they are, dude. Listen,
No, they're not.
they actually are. They actually
No,
are.
they're
I'll give you the evidence. I'll give you everything you need to believe the claim.
Give me the evidence. Give me the evidence.
So first, they illegally deported Abrigo Garcia to a center for terrorists in El Salvador. My evidence for that is the SCOTUS ruling made on April 10th, 2025 by all 9 justices. Now, my evidence that he was beaten and tortured when he was in CCOT is his own testimony. I mean, dude said that he was forced to kneel from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and if he fell, he would have been beat. He was beat. We know that he came back 31 pounds lighter than he was when he left, and he was only there for 3 weeks. And, you know, to corroborate, you know, the testimony of him and his lawyer under oath, being deposed by a court, by the way, we also have the same identical testimony from hundreds of other people that have been in CCOT. I think it's the UN Human Rights Watch who's done an investigation and talked to a couple hundred people there, including 60 minors that have all reported these same conditions. So I would say we have more than enough evidence to believe that he was beaten and tortured when he was in CCOT, and we just goddamn know that he was illegally deported there because of the ruling from SCOTUS on April 10th. See how when I describe the evidence here, it's not a conspiracy theory?
Well, you know, I got to tell you, the kid, you know, the guy who did get deported, he came back, right? And then, of course, he got deported right away. Is that true? I'm not up to current events, but the guy was here illegally.
No, he's facing some charges in Texas, so he hasn't been deported again.
Okay, but he will be. So he's either going to be put in jail here, right? Or he's going to get deported back to El Salvador.
Maybe. Like, I'd say that is one of the possible outcomes. But that doesn't challenge or change anything I just did. Because if we are, like, doing deportations, what we need to do is be giving them due process. We need to give them a hearing in front of a judge. We can't just illegally deport them to another country to be beaten and tortured. Like, there's a big difference between deporting somebody using the legal processes morally and deporting somebody using illegal processes. Remember, the whole thing is they committed a crime when they came into the country, so therefore they need to get out of the country. But apparently we're okay with Americans committing crimes to get them out of the country, such as the Trump administration. Hypocritical as hell. And he was beaten and tortured. Like, this is obviously what has reduced an entry of undocumented immigrants here, because they think they're going to have their human rights violated just like Abrigo Garcia, as well as like hundreds of other immigrants. I mean, we've had Venezuelan immigrants deported to Venezuela without due process. We had a federal judge rule that he could hold Trump in contempt for their illegal deportations. He was told to turn the planes around and he didn't. You know, we have Alligator Alcatraz popping up in Florida where they're serving the detainees one meal a day, some of those meals having maggots in them and no clean water to bathe for a week on end. And Donald Trump is telling all other red states to build similar facilities. You don't really believe that,
do you? Do you believe that?
Do I believe that? Sure, I believe that. I mean, it was made in 8 days on swampy marshlands that's built to withstand Category 2 hurricanes.
No, it was an airport there. It was an airport there. It was an old airport, so it had a good foundation. I think that, listen, you make some good points, but I do think you're kind of getting sucked into the drama and some of the outlying issues, and certainly some of these stories are tragic, and I don't agree with them all. However, I think the overall arching strategy of closing down the border is absolutely 100% the reason, one of the top reasons why Trump got elected, and also I support it. I mean, do I support the tactics behind some of these things? Absolutely not. But do I support the strategy? Absolutely.
Okay.
Because listen, brother, listen, man, you
You just
cannot run a
contradicted
country.
yourself. You just
No, I
contradicted.
didn't.
You
How
did.
do I say- no. The
Because
strategy.
you said that you didn't support the strategy to do these things.
No, I support the strategy. I don't support some of the tactics.
Well, the strategy is the strategy behind the tactic. So if you don't support
No,
the
no,
tactics, then you shouldn't support
So
the
the
strategy
strategy is
behind
the
the
plan.
tactics.
So the strategy is the plan, right? That's the
The
plan.
plan would include the tactics, right?
The tactics, no. The tactics are how you